My name is M. Ryan Taylor from ukuleleplay.com. Today we are going to be doing a sing-through and tutorial for Lift Up Your Voice and Sing by Richard C. Berg. Our opening chord is an F. Our opening note is a C. And I'm just going to give a little 2-beat, 2-chord intro, and we're going to do it. A song is a wonderful kind of thing, so lift up your voice and sing. Just start a glad song, let it float, let it ring, and lift up your voice and sing. We shall make music to brighten the day. Music will help us to lighten the way. Lift up your voice, lift up your voice, lift up your voice and sing. All right, so there we go. Once again, Lift Up Your Voice and Sing by Richard C. Berg. This song is available as a free download from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints website, where they have their primary songbook. I will put a link below in the description where you can download it. You will notice if you look closely at the music that there are a few chords that don't quite match the typeface that is in the original version here. These are additions and notes that I have made. The first of these you'll notice is on the second line. We have a G minor 7 with a little arrow up to a C. And so sing. And what I'm doing there is I'm mimicking what's happening in the bass line. If you look at the bass line of the piano, you can see the notes are ascending right there. So you have this little moving phrase. So in order to get that on the ukulele, we're going to do this C7, then the G minor 7, which you just lift 2 frets, and it becomes an alternate version of C. And so you have C7, G minor 7, C. And so that G minor 7 is 0, 2, 1, 1. It's also a B flat 6, if you know it by that name instead. Okay. And then you just take that up 2 frets, and then you've got 0, 4, 3, 3 instead, and there's your C chord, okay? And then on the fourth line, we just mostly have F and C7 until we get to the fourth line, and all of a sudden there's a G7 in parentheses. Now, that's saying this is optional. No, not for ukulele players. This is not optional. We need to play that G7. This is what it would sound like without the G7. Music will help us to lighten the way. But, it could be better. Music will help us to lighten the way. And you'll notice that I put in a C7 there at the end of that phrase to lead us back to the F on the next phrase. And so those are just a couple of pencils in on that line. That you definitely want to do. And then if you look on the fifth and final line there, I've substituted a D7 for what was a D there in the original. And again, that was in parentheses, but you couldn't really do that in the if you were playing along with the piano. An F against a D chord would sound pretty bad. And so we got lift up your voice. Now we could either do it 2, 2, 2, 3, which is the barred version of D7, or we could do 2, 0, 2, 0, which is what some people call the Hawaiian D7. It's an incomplete version of the D7, and it has the 7th actually on the bottom, so it has that kind of jangly sound to it. Let me show you what it sounds like with either of these. Here's the barred one. Lift up your voice versus lift up your voice. See, they both sound good, okay? They're just different from each other. I would say getting to the Hawaiian D7 is probably a little bit easier unless you're used to playing the barred D7 like all the time. So because you're only shifting one finger going from the F to the D7, right? But going from the F to the barred D7, you're having to switch every finger, right? So it's up to you which one you want to do. But then we have the G minor, and then I've added a flavor chord here. Now this won't go along with what's in the piano part. So if you're playing this along with the piano, you can either leave it out, or you can tell the pianist, see that D flat on voice, right? I mean that D on voice, turn it into a D flat, put a little flat there, and then we'll be matching up, right? Okay, and that'll give us our our B minor 6 chord. There's also a G minor version of this chord, but I forget what it is. It's something really weird, like G minor 7 flat something. I can't remember. B flat minor 6 is a lot easier to remember. So this is just 0, 1, 1, 1. This is a great flavor chord. I love this chord. So putting it into context, we'll have lift up your voice, lift up your voice. Don't you just love that? It's just like, yes, I love it. Okay, and you can put that into other songs as well. So then lift up your voice and sing. Now I put in a barred F at the end because if you look at the bass line there on that last sing, it's going bump, right? To end off the song and say, here's this end of the song, right? Well, we can't do that on the ukulele. We can't go bump, right? But we can go bump, right? Okay, so we can do the exact opposite, and that still signals, okay, here's the end of the song. Now, this is a children's song, and if you have children in your life, this is a great one to teach them. It's mostly F and C7. You got that G7 thrown in there, 3/4 of the way through, and then on the end, you have the D and the G minor, and of course with my substitutions, they're the D7. And then you have that B flat minor 6. Now that B flat minor 6 is a really, really, really easy chord with lots of flavor to teach a beginner. The D7, I would probably teach a beginner the Hawaiian D7 because it's a much easier chord to get to from the F. I am actually teaching this song to my son right now, which is why you're getting it here on my channel. And I'm actually going to be doing a few more children's songs over the next little while. And so if you're a teacher, or you're a parent, or you have grandkids, or you'd like to go out into the community and maybe perform for kids, this is just a great song. I love this song. And some of the future songs that I'm going to be doing are some ones that are traditional, but I'm also going to be doing some ones that are original compositions off of children's poems that I've found. And so just stay tuned for that. That's going to be coming up on this channel. And I'm hoping to do a whole album called You Can Me Kid, right? So this is the beginning of that. And I have fond memories of this song from when I was a child. My mother was a primary chorister in our church, and this was one of the sort of the activity songs that we did. It's not necessarily a Christian song or a religious song. It's just about singing and lifting up your voice. So, like I said, if you have some young ones to teach a song to, this is a great one to bolster in. My son absolutely loves singing the last part where it's like, lift up your voice, lift up your voice, lift up your voice and sing. I mean, that's a lot of fun for a kid to sing. So I hope you enjoy that. Just to talk very briefly about what I'm using here, I've got my Kala 8-string baritone. I don't know if these are available right now. Everybody's got kind of supply issues and stuff going on with the pandemic. But this is just I actually have 2 of these. I love it so much. And so I've got a custom set that I put together of Labella rectified nylon strings that are sort of recommended for lutes and Renaissance guitars. And so I have this set up like a Renaissance guitar with G, C, E, A tuning. The only difference would be that on a Renaissance guitar, the first string number 1 here, would not be doubled, right? So I've tried to tune those together as close as possible so it sounds like a single string. And then we've got over on the 4th string, we've got an octave here on the G, right? So you've got both the low G and the high G. And so it gives you a nice full sound. Now it's maybe not the loudest ukulele, but it's got a nice broad sound and it's plenty of support for my singing. Anyway, so that's what I'm playing, and my favorite tuner, right? Get that almost near perfect tuning. This thing is incredibly accurate. This is the Fishman FT2, and I really care about accuracy on my tuning, especially when I'm dealing with 8 strings, right? And probably the only drawback of this tuner, it's like $15 on Amazon. But probably the only drawback is that it doesn't have an on and off button. In order to turn it off, you just lay it back and then it automatically shuts off. When I'm clipping it to other things, I don't really like that very much because I have to, get my finger in underneath the thing that's pushed back and stuff, or turn it to the side, right? Which I could do. So that's the only thing I'm unthrilled about with it, but I am thrilled with how accurate it is. It's just an amazing tuner. Anyway, that's it for me for today. I hope you enjoyed that song. And once again, go out and teach some young people to lift up your voice and sing, right? Okay. See you later.